Okay, so it looks like the majority of you guys voted to do some contour placement, so I am going to talk about that. Let me see if I can. It's fine. It's fine. Contour placement. Okay, 101 here. So when you're thinking about contour, you want to think so light pushes things forward and dark drops it back. So when we are doing our contour, you kind of want to keep that in mind, and that can help depending on your face shape. Okay, so let's start with forehead contour. So I have a pretty big forehead. So when I am contouring my forehead, I can bring it down like pretty far, like almost to where it starts to curve. I'll bring my contour like all the way down to there because I'm trying to make my forehead look smaller. So I'll bring it down. If you have a really small forehead or your hairline is farther down, you don't want to be putting contour like if your hairline comes down to here, don't be putting contour right here. It's just going to make your forehead look smaller, and you actually want to make it look bigger. So you can either not contour your forehead at all or just kind of do it around the edges. Like I said, for me, I got a big forehead, so I am going to bring my contour down pretty far. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this stuff unblended up here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And then we're going to move to cheek contour. So over here on this side, this will be my good side. I am actually going to do like a thin line, and I'm going to curve it up this way. And I'm going a little bit dark just so you guys can kind of see like what I'm talking about here. And so this is the kind of contour you should do if you have a thin face. A thin face. So this is good contour placement. So you can see that line is more horizontal like this, and that's going to give my cheeks a little bit of a lift. And then over here on this side, we're going to do just a little bit of a different contour placement. So I've dropped it a little bit lower, and I'm actually kind of going down more, or more like vertical. I'm making that line like over here. This line is like more horizontal, and this one is more vertical. So this is what you want to do if you have a more full face or if you have really big cheeks, because you want to kind of take away some of that a little bit. And so you can kind of see, like when I look straight on, the difference a little bit. So over here I'm getting both of them. Actually, I feel like look okay on my face, but lately I've been liking this better, like the thinner line and pushed up a little bit. Okay, and then for our chin contour, I'm going to do kind of just a really thin line over here on the thin side. If you have more fullness, like I kind of have a little bit more fullness down here, then you can make that line a little bit thicker, and then you really want to blend it down this way. Remember, if we want something to look, more sunken back, then we're going to put something dark there. So if you have a lot of fullness down here, then you put that contour down there on your line or along your jawline, and then that is going to help kind of diminish that a little bit. So now we're going to jump into a little bit more detailed contouring. Again, these are totally optional, and you can kind of just do what works best for your face, but I'm actually going to put some contour down here on my lip. And so I'm just going to do one side, but you can see it makes my lip look really full. And if I only do one side, it actually makes my lip look like swollen or something. So we want to bring this under here. I already have a pretty juicy lower lip, but it's one of my best assets, so I'm gonna really live that up. But then as you can see, like my upper lip is very small. So we're gonna kind of try to even out my lips here. So I am going to just like overline with my same contour that I've been using my upper lip. And again, I'll just do one side so you can see, like they look, looks like I'm like going like this. So make them even. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into some nose contour, which is one of the hardest things to contour on my face because I have a crooked nose. So over here on this side, you can see the natural curve of my nose is like this. Over here on this side, it's straight. So I'm gonna try to like even that out as much as possible. So I actually have really been liking this brush. This is the Blend and Tap brush. So it's an eyeshadow brush, but it is like for me, this is really good. This side is really good for nose contour because it's pretty soft, and so it like blends out that line evenly. So, and I'm actually using a different color contour than what I use for the rest of my face. So here I used ash. If I use this ash color on my nose, it pulls really red because I have a ton of redness on my nose. Like my nose is like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like it's so much darker and more red than everywhere else on my face. So I'm actually going to use Astoria, which in Astoria, if I use like Astoria on my forehead, it looks a little bit dirty. So it's a little bit more ashy, and so it ends up looking really good on my nose, if that makes sense, because it doesn't look too warm. If you use a contour on your nose that's too warm, it can look just dirty. So, and I'm actually using a different color contour than what I use for the rest of my face. So here I used ash. If I use this ash color on my nose, it pulls really red and more red than everywhere else. Too warm. If you use a contour on your... Okay, so over here on my straight side of my nose, I am just going to do a little line right here. Now, I have a bump in my nose right here, so you can see where that bump is. My contour goes on a little bit darker. So over here on this side where I have that bump, I'm not even going to contour right here. Like I already got some good contour going on naturally. So I am just going to kind of try to even my nose out a little bit. I'm not going to contour right there because it already looks like there's a line. And then we're going to go down this way. And again, this is tricky. And then I'm going to just like do a little, almost like a V at the bottom. And this is just going to make my nose look a little bit. This kind of just completes that contour a little bit. And then we're just going to kind of blend it up here into my brows a little bit. And so we really want the focus to be on like this thin like band of light right here. So I am just going to take a little bit of my highlight and put that right there, and then we're going to blend, and I'm actually going to blend. Okay, so still looking like a crazy person. Also, this is taking forever because every 5 seconds I have to go check on my kid. I just ran out there to go check on her, and she had dumped applesauce on the floor, so I stepped in it and ate it on the kitchen floor. Okay, so final thing that's really going to bring this all together is blush. So with blush placement over here on like the thin side, or if you have a thin face. So you want to put blush where you want to give more fullness, right? So our contour is creating a shadow. Our highlight is making something come forward, and same thing with blush. Blush is going to make something come forward too. So over here, I am putting my blush right here, and then a little bit more like out this way because I want this to look really full and then the contour to look really cut. You feel me? So if you have really like a really cheeky smile, like when you smile, your cheeks like come out this way, and you want to diminish that just a little bit, then you would put your blush a little bit more forward this way, because that's going to bring that fullness this way and take away from this way, if that makes sense. So over here on this side, you can see like my contour is looking really cut. My cheek is looking full in the places that it's supposed to. So I would just recommend trying this out on your face, like playing with your contour placement, and see which one you like better.